Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
There he is on the screen, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. One of our favorites. Okay, our favorite, Pastor Steve Arterburn.
Hi.
He is the host of New Life Live. You hear that here at Faith Talk Atlanta. I just happen to have the Bible that he sent me. He sent Dan and I both a Bible, not just any Bible now. He sent us the Every Man's Bible, and it's amazing. I love it. But I love the note. You didn't have to do the note, Steve. But the note to me was the icing on the cake.
Yep.
Especially the part that says this. And I know I've read this before. I'm sure I've done this on the air. I hope you like the Bible. Obviously, you need to read the Bible more. Now, knowing Steve and his sarcasm, that gift, that spiritual gift, I just cracked up as soon as I read it. I'd memorize a bunch of it if I were you. It's not too late. Steve Arterburn. There
he cracked himself up.
Yeah.
I can't believe I had that kind of insight.
Obviously, another spiritual gift at work right there.
Yes.
And Pastor Steve Arterburn.
Discernment is that one. Right,
yeah. Hey, we love laughing with you. You are amazing. You're very, very funny to both Dan and I. But when you get down to business, you're equally as gifted. And just helping so many folks, New Life Live. We want to talk about Every Man's Battle Workshop.
Yeah.
And you do this all over. And it's coming to Atlanta. The date's 8th through the 10th. Do you know how many workshops you've done thus far since the beginning? You can't quantify that probably.
No, really. It's a great question. And we should add it up because, we've worked with, now we can say hundreds of thousands of men. And I just want to go back to the humor thing. And I think you guys are an example of this too. You can love to laugh and you can love humor. And it's not a sign of a lack of passion to do the Lord's work. And sometimes, people might mistake that if you're enjoying it and laughing and all that, maybe that's a sign of you're not really serious about what you do. But, in New Life, we use humor for a couple of reasons. One, when everybody's laughing at the same thing, it's a bonding moment. We're all agreeing on something. If I tell a meaningful story, some might cry, some might roll their eyes or whatever. But if you can get everybody to laugh together, it's a bonding thing. But also, it connects us because it kind of lowers defenses and stuff. And when you come to an Every Man's Battle workshop, we use humor there also. And the one thing we don't use is shame. Men come there thinking they're going to feel worse about themselves. Mm-hmm. We love you. We know that God is for you. He's a God of mercy. And that's why we see guys coming in and they are full of shame and distance and feel disconnected from God and their wives. And they leave and they've got guys on their side and they are determined to live a different life. And they do. I mean, the success rate's pretty amazing. And what we love is that you go from this isolated, shameful existence to having a band of brothers that you stay connected with many times for the rest of your life. Some of these guys have been together in groups every week on the phone or Zoom for 15 years. It's just incredible to see it.
Now, Steve, for guys who may be thinking about going, but maybe like, I don't know what to expect of one of these things like this, what can they expect? Obviously, like you said, they can expect to not be shamed, but what can they expect going in?
They can expect to be shocked that they're not the worst person in the room. That people are going to tell their stories there who have been clean and free of the problem for years. And they're going to tell them some stuff that's going to be shocking that they were involved with. And they're going to go, well, I'm not the worst person in the world. We're all capable of a lot of really crummy stuff when we go down the wrong path. Mm-hmm. I think the other thing they're going to be shocked at is that a lot of people can get out of this and they make that choice. Almost everybody that comes is aware they have a problem. And almost everyone there wants it to be better. What we do is give you the one element that it takes to do that, and that is willingness. Mm-hmm. You can be aware and you can desire, but if you're not willing, and we help you step up to that willingness platform where you're willing to do whatever it takes to get your life back in the way that God wants it to be, the way God has called you to be.
Pastor Steve Arterburn, the host of New Life Live, we're talking about Every Man's Battle Workshop, the 8th through the 10th of October, which is just in a few weeks, actually. If you register by the 24th of September, you'll save $200. It is a great investment for those that struggle with sexual integrity issues. Maybe you know someone or you yourself. Check it out. Steve, we all appreciate the fact that that you've decided to move forward with this and just help transform lives. I mean, this is in some senses, it's almost like taking out the trash. How many ministers really want to preach on, issues like this? Because, people don't buy a lot of your messages if you preach, stuff like this. But this is the stuff that helps people. Yeah. And what's amazing is that what you just said, 15 years, these guys are getting together. What is it that locks people? Because some people say, okay, a conference, you go in, you blow up, you blow in, you blow up, you blow out. Will it stick? How does it stick? Yeah, well, it sticks with connection. And what we do is I think in probably 99% of the cases, we are able to convince a guy there's nothing that's going to work with just you, your Bible, and God. You have to have connection with other men. Next week, you have to be connected with some men. And if you don't have that plan when you leave here, then you're wasting your time being here. And so it's men become men in the company of men, iron sharpens iron. And so our whole thing is, yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's great. Because you got caught, you feel horrible, you're saying all this stuff. But what are you going to do? And what's the plan to do that? Is there a men's Bible study where you can open up and share? Is there a support group? Are you going to go to even Sex Addicts Anonymous? Are you going to go to a life recovery group? You don't have any groups in your area? What are you going to do to start one? You're going to go to your pastor, say, I need another man to help me here. Those are the kinds of things that it's different than hearing something, being inspired, and it lasting 15 hours, and then you're back where you were. Mm-hmm. We have a way for it to stick, and it does. And I got a lot of women married to men who are grateful that they came to Every Man's Battle.
Hmm. How important is it, Steve, for guys to know going in that there's, I'm assuming, not a quick fix? You're just going to go and you're going to be perfectly done and everything's going to be hunky dory. I mean, this takes a little time to retrain your brain, I guess. How important is that for guys to know?
Well, it doesn't matter what you think when you come. If you think it's going to be a quick fix, come on. Yeah. If you don't want to come on. And if you think you're just going to do this to get your wife off your back, come. Because it's our job, once you're there, to take wherever you came from and get you on the right track. And because we've been doing this for years, we've tried to perfect the way of getting you to see the reality of your situation. And, most of the guys that are there are some of the greatest rationalizers in the world. Not hurting anybody. It's not that bad. And God can't use me. All those kinds of things. And we take on those challenges. And we hope that we're sending back home a man who's got a new mission and a new ministry even. And life has new meaning. That's what we're going for. Pastor Steve Arterburn, host of New Life Live, and we're talking about Every Man's Battle Workshop, October the 8th through the 10th. You can go to FaithTalkAtlanta.com as a link, but you can go to newlife.com and 800-NEW LIFE. I wonder how many men, like you said, their wife just nagged them to go, so they just went. Yeah. Said, okay, this is 15 hours. I'll go. I'm gone. Make the wife happy, then everybody be happy. And then God just bang messes them up. And they're a testimony to not only their family, but those around. Well, think about this. Would we rather have somebody come who's just there to please their wife, or would we rather them stay home because the only reason they would come is just to please their wife? Yeah. Come, let us work with you, because we've only had about 50,000 men that just wanted to come to get it over with. So we're used to that. And there couldn't be a better place for you and your bad attitude to be with us. So come and we'll help you with that.
Love talking to Steve.
Like Rick said, newlife.com. You can go to newlife.com/workshops and find out more about the Everyman's Battle. Again, it's October 8th through the 10th coming up in Atlanta. And if you sign up before the 24th, which is this Friday, I believe, you get $200 off. So get signed up and go, whether your wife is nagging you or you actually really want to go, just go.
Yeah. Let me just say, it's easy to point your finger at everybody and blame everybody. And it reminds me of the guy went to the doctor and he said, "Doctor, every time I touch here, it's painful. I touch here, it's painful. I don't want to surround it. If I touch here, it's painful." He says, "I know exactly what the problem is. You got a broken finger." So you may be the problem, and you may be the source of your pain, and we can help you with that. We want to help you with that.
I love that. I'm feeling that joke. I like that.
Yeah, me too. In fact, I'm going to preach next month at church, so I'm using that, and I'm not going to mention where I got it.
No, don't. They won't listen anymore.
Pastor Steve Arterburn, we love having him, love what he does, him and his team, host of New Life Live. Real quick, Steve, before we go on a break, what do you have coming up? You got a book coming out. What's new with you, real quick?
Well, the latest book is called The Soul of a Hero. It's the last book that Dave Stoop and I wrote. But for me, one of the most exciting things is a partnership that New Life has with the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. to start a truth movement where we are trying to motivate women to take back the school boards and in their communities and let the Bible be the foundation, not some weird, strange, evil philosophy that's being taught to our kids. So that's the most exciting thing. The other thing is I've got a new book I'm working on that'll be out in about a year on your thought life. And the belief is that thought life is everything. And you can fill it with crummy stuff or worry or guilt and shame. But Marcus Brotherton and I are working on a book to help you with your thought life. The last book we did together, we won Book of the Year. It was a book for kids called, I forget the name of it. But anyway, what's the name of that book over there?
Feeling your pain, Steve. I feel it.
This happens when you've written 126 books.
That'll happen for sure. Yeah.
The title of it. Anyway, it's Kirby McCook and the Jesus Chronicles is the name of it. It's for kids. It's a Bible story book. But we won Book of the Year on that. And now we're working on a Thought Life book.
That's easy for you to say, he's thinking. Pastor Steve Arterburn, always great time with Steve. Check it out, newlife.com/workshops, 800 New Life, and check out the show and see if you can find him on YouTube. He preaches some amazing messages at church as well. Enjoy them very much. Steve, bless you. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.